It's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
It's always better when I put myself on the screen. Good morning to you, all aboard the Alegria. Manson here with the Expats Portugal show. How are you doing this morning? Tudo bem? Let me know. This is very serious, actually, and we will go there first thing because I've been saying I will and been sort of skirting around the issue this morning. Ubi, thank you for this message, which is quite simply says, the land is on fire. Please pray for rain. And it's at these times when those with of little faith may even be tempted to do the thing that Ubi is asking for there, Ubi Ominum, or whatever it is that makes you feel better about an emergency, practical action, or putting your faith into practice here. So, Ubi, we will look at that. I know in the Portugal Resident, there was an article, Fire Still Raging in Serra da Estrela, and we can also look at fogos.pt for the latest on that. This is Move to Portugal Thursday. Apologies if you were looking for the show this morning and you couldn't find it. That's because it wasn't there. Had a slight plot twist. Moving to Portugal Thursday. New residents in this slot. Didn't we have a lovely time when we spoke to Ian and Fabrizio when they were here last month from Project Lisboeta? They were going to be here this morning to talk about what it's like to be a same-sex, a gay couple in Lisbon and what that's like. And we do get asked that from time to time. Is Portugal, is Lisbon a safe place to come? If you're gay, if you're in a same-sex couple, how do people respond? What's it like? What's the culture like for LGBTQ? Sorry, I don't know the full abbreviation. Somebody else might be able to help me with that, but you get the gist. If you live a different lifestyle that you might be concerned about, coming into the Portuguese culture and what that might be like. We have been asked that question, and I like to answer these things from a first-person perspective. It's not my own personal experience, so it would be foolish for me to try and hazard a guess on that. I'd only be regurgitating other people's views and giving my opinion, possibly gaslighting or doing something terrible like that, giving an opinion about which I know nothing and can't speak from personal experience. So best to speak to the people who know, who have that lived life experience. But unfortunately, they can't join us. They had a plot twist and they can't join us this morning. So in their stead, I am asking the question, what's the best thing and the worst thing about moving to Portugal here on Move to Portugal Thursday? Now, we don't do this very often, but I'd be very happy if you wanted to. I mean, I encourage it every day. If people want to call in and say hi and give me their opinion on something. And again, remember what I just said? It's great if it comes from personal experience rather than. So that's why a lot of politics is out. Most people's political experience is not very much, really, is it? I mean, most people are very experienced in giving an opinion about politics. Not many people know about doing it, do they, as a professional politician? And not many people actually know the people they're condemning from day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute, are they? They're just talking about their, not vicariously, but they're sort of abstracting and conceptualizing their opinions and judgments from the feed, the sewage pipe of the media sometimes. Sorry, did I say sewage pipe? What I meant to say was the front pages, even the other pages and the web pages of news sites telling you what they think you should know often, isn't it? And then you form an opinion, which you call a political view, or which we call a political view. I do it myself. I'm not having a go at anybody. I think it just seems to be the way it works. So, call in if you have a first-person view, which you will have, won't you, on the best things and worst things about moving to Portugal in your own experience. Or the other thing, if your experience is anxiety based on what other people have said, we can dig deep into that and possibly allay your fears. Now, there was a Facebook post that I put up recently, actually, that contains somebody's anxiety, concern about moving to Portugal. And I think I'm going to use that as part of the conversation today. My goodness, don't I post a lot of rubbish up on Facebook? Let me just see. Let me just go back to the one in question. Jacinda Ardern, what's she doing there? And this was about somebody's concerns politically about moving to Portugal. Oh my God, how long ago was this? I'm trying to find. Oh yes, here we go. This is somebody who says. I mean, so yeah, of course, one of the best things, worst things might be to escape a political picture, scene. Another way of looking at it is some people will be getting anxious about what they're leaving behind. Will it be replicated in Portugal? Like this person, SL, I think, well, we'll call them their initials. Hi there, I'm hoping someone can answer this for me. Many Americans are moving to Portugal, but I would like to know, are many Trump supporting Americans moving to Portugal? How are you supposed to know that? I would think with their ideology, unless they say so, I would think I mean, isn't that part of the beauty of the ballot box, is that you can make your feelings and your intentions felt without having to. Anyway, I would think with their ideology, Portugal would not be a country they would consider. Am I correct? I suspect people might tell you that you are or you're not here in this situation, SL. Am I correct? If they are moving to Portugal, what part are they moving to? Why do you ask that? I'm thinking of moving to the Silver Coast, says this person, hopefully Caldash, who I suspect doesn't want to be with the people who they're projecting all their political angst on. I can actually bring that onto the screen so that you can see it for yourself. Should you should you want to? I don't know where you stand on that and how you feel about that. But there you go. Hey, hi there. I'm hoping someone can answer this for me. Many Americans moving to Portugal. Where I think it's where do they move to? And what do you make of this? I mean, that sounds to me like bringing the problem with you. And is that one of the best things or worst things about moving to Portugal for you, my friend, this morning? Let me know what you think of that. Other angles are available. And we will go, Ubi, after we've said hello to everybody. Let's find out more about that fire. As the headline says, the fire still raging in Serra da Estrela this morning. Sarah's in, Ricardo's in. Oh, Ricardo, I think, might want to give us 850,000 euros. That's very generous, Ricardo. Ricardo Pamela. If we can get a translation on that, I mean, if we just divide that between the people currently watching, there's still quite a lot of money. So let's not look a gift horse in the mouth this morning with that. James is in, Antonio. Well, sorry yesterday about the misidentification or confusion about. But I mean, did you see what James did? James got Joao F, Antonio F, Nuno. He got Hank. He got Connie. And Anthony, I'm calling him full title. How are you doing, Tony Baldylocks? Are you here this morning? Do you want to call in and let us know how it's going on Move to Portugal Thursday? That would be awesome on 00351 913 590 303. It's there on the screen for you now. I think I'm seeing it. Maybe you're not. Maybe the way this streaming works, you don't see it. But you know what the number is by now, don't you? 913-590-303. All of those people, Joao F, Antonio F, James, Tony Baldylocks, Hank, Connie, and Nuno from Winsurance, all in one place. He managed to get them all together. And we had the photo yesterday to prove. Actually, let's show them again this morning in case you weren't here yesterday. Look, here they are. Not all of them in that picture, but by the time you've seen all three pictures, you will see all the people I'm talking about. They look like they're having a lovely time, and that's probably because they are Gumpers meeting up, lubricated by we got a super Bock. Oh yeah, of course. Hank is a Bock buddy, and James, what's your? I think you look like you are as well there, but maybe to me it doesn't matter that much. Does it matter to anybody particularly? And that could be a controversial thing to say. Sagres, if given the choice, but either are fine. Oh, news in from Gary as well. So Gary, Ubi, Sarah, Stephen, James, Antonio, Amelie, Will's here as well, and Suze. Oh my goodness, Suze, I'm going to show your beautiful pictures of Vancouver. Johnny as well, all in this morning. The news from Gary is terrific Thursday. We have a rental and a promissory signed, and we at least head to Portugal on the 12th of September. Best thing and worst thing then, Gary, about moving to Portugal in your experience so far? Come on, spill the beans. And we've noticed this. You've got a slight lean. Oh, okay. That's because you lean slightly to the Sagres side. Yes, same here. Then I think they say James that Superbock is intellectuals beer. I think we'd have to challenge that, wouldn't we? As a philosopher intellectuals of the Gumper community, we're reclaiming Sagres as the boffin beer, I would like to say. But then again, Hank is a professor, isn't he? He probably out trumps us in the conventional second use of the word Trump this morning. He out trumps us in the conventional academic approach to intelligence. And I would say, with the risk of offending some people, academic intelligence is not the only kind of intelligence. But we are not here to discuss that this morning. But that never stops us, does it? Supernova tastes like soap. I think you mean Superbock, unless you have eaten a supernova galactic experience of some kind. Did Elon Musk enable that, or Richard Branson? Super Bock, of course it is. And good morning, people. Talking of, you only have to say Super Bock and Lee appears. Morning, all. Good morning, people, from Lee, head gardener McGrady, of course, from the gardening Q&A. Cheers, Lee. How's that little Eve? Never mind about you. How's that little Eve? That's how it is at the moment, isn't it? How's she doing? Let us know. And who's this? I remember this name. Does anyone else remember this name? Rings a bell, doesn't it? Thunder Duck. Bon dia alegria. It'll fall into place soon. No. I had a hard time finding this show today. So did I. And I actually host it. It was a plot twist. Yeah, Ian and Fabrizio can't be here today. So they will come back and talk of their experience of being a same-sex couple in Portugal and in Lisbon at some other time. Today we are talking, and you've all got something to say on this. Don't pretend you haven't. It's Move to Portugal Thursday, where we're talking about the best thing and the worst thing about moving to Portugal. And I don't know, that does exclude somewhat Antonio and Joao, if Joao's coming along this morning. But then again, you might have something to say about moving around different parts of Portugal, for example. I'm sure you'll still have a view on this, Antonio, Joao, and other Portuguese people watching. Do let us know. Or what's your experience of viewing others? What do you think the best and worst things you've heard others say? Hab keine Angst here. Okay, let's before we go to dad jokes, before we dig deep into some of your comments and some of the chat this morning at nearly 8:45, let's go look at the situation in the Serra da Estrela. And we'll check in on foggish.pt. Remind me to show your photos as well, Suze. Suze, you're tuned in. What time is it? 2:30 or something in the morning, or 4 in the morning, or something crazy? But you're no stranger to joining us at odd hours, are you? Your whole journey with us has been quite a commitment. I'll put it like that. It's okay. Let's have a look then at the Serra da Estrela fire, as reported by the Portugal resident this morning. Sometimes the news makes the adverts look a little bit trite, doesn't it? And here's one example. They're trying to sell me a very pretty dress, I have to say, in the adverts, and some real estate and a dolphin and Algarve car hire from €15 a day. I believe that when it actually lands on the bill. That's how they draw you in, though, isn't it? Linen, etc. as well. Knowledge and quality are key. Isn't that what we say at Expats Portugal? What? And no, knowledge and community here at Expats Portugal. And knowledge and quality are key. Anyway, let me just get on with reading this much more important article from Natasha Don at the Portugal resident. Fire still raging in Serra da Estrela. As reported yesterday, the 10th of August, early this morning, there was still no joy for the embattled residents of villages in Serra da Estrela. And it feels to me like I'm a million miles away from this on the Silver Coast. We're enjoying moderated weather by the Atlantic sea breeze, of course. Different picture over there in central Portugal, and our heart goes out. And more than our heart, we need the practical side as well, don't we? We need to support the Bombeiros who are here. Over 1,000 of them, the personnel, backed by 356 appliances as of yesterday. And this was at 7 in the morning. They were battling yesterday morning. And as far as Ubi is concerned, over that way, this is still raging. The fire that began in the early hours of Saturday morning near a village in the parish of Cantargallo e Vila de Carvalho is still raging, still causing evacuations, panic and misery. Last night, after another very violent reignition fanned by strong winds, areas that had been wrestled into resolution were back raging. That must be so heartbreaking, soul-destroying even for the Bombeiros who've got it under control, and then the climatic conditions stir it back up again. Civil Protection admitted in the final press briefing that it was going to be a long and difficult night, which is exactly what it was. That was from the 9th going into the 10th yesterday. The fire leapt borough boundaries on Saturday and has since devoured hectares of unique biosphere. Yikes. A natural heritage landscape that will be almost impossible to recover. Well, hold on a minute. Let's not go that far, shall we? It may take time, of course, but if it grew once, it can grow again, can't it? The only good aspect so far is that no one has been seriously injured, albeit 3 firefighters have had to be pulled out of the theatre of operations for light injuries. As we said in our last report, fires of this dimension in Serra da Estrela are known to remain active for at least 5 days. Today, Wednesday, signals the 5th day. Updates to come then. That not updated as yet. We'll have a look and see what's going on fogos.pt as well, which is where you should keep an eye on so you know what's going on. And we'll look at see if the Portugal News has covered that as well. We got a deep thought of the day from I know who you are, really, Thunderduck. I tell you what, mate, it's so good to see you back on the screen here with us. Let us know how you're feeling today. Sue's also promoting GMP. Thanks for that. Come back to all of those. Pete's in as well now. Deagle too. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here in the morning and scanning the Portugal News then. Unemployment down to 5.7%. Lisbon Airport 6th for most delays. I wonder what the context is for that. We didn't look at this yesterday, but please clamp down on wild camping. If you get caught wild camping, it's not wild camping, would be what I would say about that. Not encouraging it, not discouraging it. I'm just saying. But nothing about there's thunderstorm weather warning, which I guess in some ways you don't want a lightning strike that could cause a blaze, but certainly the rain that might come with it could be very useful in central Portugal right now. So there is no Portugal news coverage as I speak. So let's go look at fogos.pt instead and see if we can find out what's going on all around the country, not least in the Serra da Estrela this morning. Come on, Carl, get the right buttons. Yeah, it's been a bit not stressful exactly. I mean, fighting a fire is stressful. Putting a morning show together is not really stressful. It was just I just had a plot twist or two to deal with. Let's get things into perspective here. But it's slowing me down a little bit in my processes. What's new, Carl? You might ask. Let me bring that onto the screen for you now. Then looking at the map, and yes, that seems to be the principal blaze at the moment. The rest of the country, fortunately. There are those blue dots. They're the ones in resolution, are they not? I think I need to refresh this as well, just to make sure we got the most up-to-date information, and perhaps the homepage as well. I'm used to seeing something slightly different here, but let's have a look then at the big blaze. That's what we're talking about, isn't it? We're still with, my goodness. It started on the 6th, as Natasha Don told us, at 3:18 in the morning. And we're looking at some of these names, the people who are more familiar with central Portugal, Oliveira do Hospital, Ceia, of course, legendary home of the cheese there, Fundão. Pete, are you seeing this? Is this blighting the sky where you are? Covilhã being the main place where you'll be aware of the effects of this blaze. 1,535 personnel, as you can see on the screen right there. 473 vehicles and eight aircraft in the sky at the moment. Let's look at that extra information. Mayor of Manteigas was talking at, a few days ago now, extra information to the population. As you can see, the situation is far from being resolved. The fire is progressing at great speed in the Souto dos Poços area, Verdelios, and is reaching the summit near Poço do Inferno with some projections and with devastating intensity. The next few hours will be a lot of work and worry, and the situation is very difficult. I'd like to have another type of information, but at the moment, the mobilization of all available resources is urgent, namely air resources. All the coordination and pressure is being done in this direction. We need help and luck. That was the mayor of the epicenter there talking, and that started on the 8th. It was in resolution, and then it blew up again, kind of literally. Sorry, I beg your pardon. It started on the 6th, and it was in resolution, and it blew up again on the 8th, and is still ongoing. Okay, so that's where to keep in touch with it. If you want the specific link to that specific blaze, I will put that into the chat right now. So Godspeed. Good luck. Every possible thing that could help those firefighters sending from us, this community, to the communities over there. And of course, the communities on the ground, after the bomberos have done their work, there will be communities that need help recovering. Pete perhaps will keep us in touch with that, what's going on over there, and maybe how we can help them with their ongoing life after the worst of the emergency situation that they're experiencing right now. Thank you, Ubi, then, for bringing that to our attention. I'm putting that link to it into the chat now. If I didn't do that already, forgive me. There you go. And yes, I don't know what else to say about that, but we will check in and see what's going on at another time. Let's go back then to where we started, where you came in. And it's a bon dia, Gumpers. Feliz Quinta a todos. Como tem pasado? From James this morning. And thank goodness there's only going to be 2 more days of having to say all of this. Just in case you didn't know, meet my brother Kuto, which kind of rhymes as well. Bon dia, James, from Antonio. Just in case you see he's getting bon dia todos from Antonio F, and bon dia Antonio y todos as well from the Ubi there. Okay, a Will Rogers quote of the day then. Personally, I've always felt that the best doctor in the world is the veterinarian. He can ask his patients, what is the matter? He can't ask his patients what's the matter. He's just got to know it. Yes, indeed. But that doesn't mean that if you're not feeling very well, you should go and see a veterinarian. And Ubi, yeah, thank you for that comment early on. I don't know what else to say, mate, right now. But as I said, we will keep checking in on what's going on, and also, seeing what we can do on a practical level as a community to help that community over there. Rain would be good. It was supposed to rain a bit yesterday, but no news of that. Okay, well, let's have a look at the weather then for that area. I'll bring that onto your screen in just a moment, and we can see what's going on for that area and for the rest of the week. See what the weather picture is for everybody, and the potential effects for hopefully rain and not winds that blow up the fires. Bon dia from Stephen as well. And look at this. We are being offered 850,000 euros this morning. I suspect we might have to deposit a few of our own euros in to facilitate, lubricate, and enable this transaction here. Thank you, Ricardo, for the offer. Be careful, everybody, with that. Bon dia, Carl and Gumpers Deagle. No show on early, only getting the link now. Yeah, my fault. It was a change in programming. And driving to Transcorso, listening in, but won't type comments for a bit. Okay, Ubi, got you, mate. We're here till 10, of course, if you want to say anything about the best thing and the worst thing about moving to Portugal, which I suspect a few of you will. I don't need an essay or a dissertation. Just a few little pithy comments will be fine, including this one. In case you weren't here earlier on, best and worst being anticipated here. I'm hoping someone can answer this for me. Says SL, many Americans are moving to Portugal, but I'd like to know, are many Trump supporting Americans moving to Portugal? I would think with their ideology, Portugal would not be a country they would consider. Am I correct? I mean, my own personal response to that would be no, really. If they are moving to Portugal, what part are they moving to? This tells you a lot about American politics, more than it does about Portugal, really, doesn't it? I'm thinking about moving to Silver Coast, hopefully Caldas, where a lot of Americans are moving, incidentally. And I did see loads of MAGA hats and Trump flags over that way. Only kidding. Just trying to make a bit of light of the situation here for our American friends. Probably not helping. Shari, if you are moving to Portugal, and I can give these names out because they are in the public domain on our YouTube channel. If you are moving to Portugal, please leave your politics behind, says Pedro Lopes. We don't need that tribalist nonsense over here. In Portugal, there are always 4 or 5 different political parties in the parliament. There have been governments composed of political coalitions, left, right, and centre right. That's not politics, that's a dance. Left, right, and centre right. Step, back, forward, cha. The world does not come to an end if the opposite party wins. What? Really? Some people actually are accustomed, conditioned to that, I believe, aren't they now, I suppose? You are more than welcome in Portugal and the rest of the European Union, the European Onion with all its layers, but please leave the herd thinking in the US. Not a dad joke, but it seemed right to do that at the end of that. Pedro, well done. Okay, let's have a look then. A dad joke as well. Best thing, Sagres. Okay, there. Oh, I think I've missed a few things here, haven't I? Bon dia then from Sarah. Did I get that or not? Best thing. Well, wildfires aren't as bad as what I've experienced in the US so far. So that's interesting. I mean, as terrible as it is, it's still not as bad as it is in the US for wildfires, says Ubi. And I think Gary might have a few worse things about moving to Portugal with some of the ups and downs he's had with buying property. But we shall see. I'll let him answer that. I won't assume, because making an assumption makes an ass of you and me, doesn't it? As they say. I like that old time Moroccan roll. That's random. That's very random. I can't, in my mind, find a place to put that Moroccan roll right now. Steady, and with your suggestions about that. Marjorie is here. Marjorie Morstein is here. Hello, Marjorie. Hello to you. You're helloing us. We're helloing right back at you. What brings you here? How lovely to see you among us today. Okay. Better play that dad joke warning then. Okay. That will reveal the mystery of what James is on about. What you on about? That's what we say in the UK. Is that an American expression as well? What you on about? We're going to find out in just a moment. But I cannot tell you until I've done this. Oh, here we go.
Warning. Warning.
Oh yes, Moroccan roll. Here we go. Oh, I think I know where this is going now. Now I've said it out loud. Oh dear. Okay. Best thing. Thank you, Sarah. That's coming. Dad joke warning then. I found a recipe from Morocco for homemade dinner rolls. It's called for fresh time. Oh, it called for fresh time, but mine was outdated. I used it anyway. As I reminisce, I really like that old time Moroccan roll. I'm so sorry I ruined that for you, James, by reading out the punchline before I read out the rest of it, the setup. I mean, it's one of those jokes, isn't it? Some jokes, you can hear them sitting down on the chair, and if they're of a certain age, they give out a little sigh, don't they, as they sit down? Do you sigh when you get in and out of a chair? It's a sign, the sigh sign of, ah. That's a relief, is that? Some jokes sigh, don't they, as they get up and down from the chair. On this occasion, sitting into the chair. Oh bugger! I forgot to bring my shoes over. Get up again. Oh, get the shoes. Go and sit down again. Oh, I'm gonna have to change the Velcro. This lace-up business is very stressful. And you can hear this joke doing its shoelaces up. Finding its phone, finding its keys, shutting the front door, opening the gate, and walking down the street towards the punchline. This is one of those, isn't it? But no worse for that. Thank you for that. And I'm so sorry I messed it up for you, but I think you got the gist of it there. Old time rock and roll there. Best thing about moving to Portugal. Thank you, Sarah. Bit of sensible information coming in now. We became everybody's side project, beginning with the guy who carried us from the airport to the first place we stayed. Sounds like you were in one of those sedan chairs, doesn't it? Or got a piggyback. We were met by our first landlady who still checks in on us. That is beautiful. And it's when you hear something like, well, that's it. We're done here with best thing and worst thing about Portugal. That's all you need to hear, isn't it? You become everybody's side project. That's beautiful. And it's true here as well, isn't it? We know that Antonio and Joao F, not brothers in the hereditary sense, but brothers to us and brothers to each other. They are two wings of the Portuguese bird of love that surrounds us with its wings and occasionally drops a dropping on us with our pronunciation. But that's what birds do, isn't it? But mainly what birds do is welcome you into their nest. Unless they're a cuckoo, then they steal your nest. But anyway, that is what happens when you dig too deep into a metaphor. But Antonio and Joao F, two wings of the same beautiful Portuguese bird. I'm going to go with a hoopoe on this occasion. Beautiful and intriguing, enchanting, and a delight to see and have among us. There we go, Antonio and Joao. If that's what you are, and those two wings, we feel them around us here. We're like your side projects as well, Antonio and Joao. That's beautiful, Sarah. Thank you for that. The location or the beer? What? Well, where is that? What is that? I think possibly was being asked by Will. Hello, Toros from Korea. This morning, this morning for us, you're a little bit of your afternoon, I suspect, already in Korea. Amelie, great to have you here. The joy of beer and the allure of the beer there. Will having a moment Me too now. You've said that out loud, Will. Maybe others as well. Don't forget, Antonio says to Ubi, don't forget to visit the castle in Transcorso. Transcorso sounding like an energy company, doesn't it? Transcorso regret that they're going to have to put up your energy bill by another 3,000% in the coming winter. And that's the sort of thing you're hearing in the UK at the moment. Transcorso is a place. I think we need to find out a bit more about Transcorso. I'm just going to search that. Oh, I've got a few photos to share with you as well. Some of my own. Some of I've even cranked up the WhatsApp. That's how challenged I was this morning. Transcorso, human settlement in Brazil. That's probably not the one we're thinking about, but we can go to Center of Portugal for a little bit of a look. Thank you, Center of Portugal, the tourism site, for a little bit of a mention of Transcorso, and I suspect the castle as well. Pickies to come. I took some, not the best pictures in the world, but a phenomenon that I wanted to capture for you. I'm here, says Suze as well. Let's find your pictures, Suze, shall we? Beautiful. And I remember my dear departed stepfather, my late stepfather, talking about when he traveled the world as a younger man, Vancouver was one of the places he really loved going to, Suze. So it's lovely to share some pictures of Vancouver this morning, and let me just download your pictures. Sorry, folks, I'm going to have to do a little bit of live downloading this morning. I'm like the guy who sat on the bacon slicer at the delicatessen. He got behind with his work, and that is where I am at right now. But it's going well. I'm downloading gaily here on the on the Expats Portugal show. Here we go. I think that's all three of them now, and I can bring them onto the screen. Yeah, got some of my own to share with you as well. But these from Suze before she has to go to bed or drops off, camping as I think she is at the moment. These are fabulous. They really are. Thank you very much, Suze, for thinking of us. And what you say is, I'm in Vancouver, urban camping. Oh, that's an interesting thing. Not wild camping, but urban camping. Killed your battery running the cooler and falling asleep with YouTube still on. Okay, so you got some help from the Canadian Automobile Association, who told you to keep your motor running for 3 hours, which seems excessive. So there she is, polluting the environment, trying to get her battery back in business. And if we hear from a Hillary, it's because Suze has been recommending the Good Morning Portugal show to a friend called Hillary, who I think reminded her a bit of Cindy B, apparently. She worked for an airline, has traveled, but not to Portugal. So Hillary, if you are tuned in this morning, thank you for doing so. And my neighborhood is in the first pic here. Is that? Oh, okay. Beautiful sunset, Suze. Oh, look at that. That is, I think, Kitsilano. This is where I think Taxi is going to be going for a dip in the sea. I might have messed these up as well. No, this is where Taxi is going for a dip at Vancouver. Looks great, doesn't it? And on the last one I'm going to show you that I've already showed you, is the Pacific, where I am now. I hope I've done that justice. But anyway, all of Vancouver. Thank you, Suze, for being here. If you haven't already snoozed off. Taxi, good morning to you as well. Taxi. A lovely little taxi. So thanks very much for those, Suze. Much appreciated. I've got a few more to come for you as well this morning. Anyone feeling full moony? It'll be the full moon, I think, in the early hours of tomorrow morning. Anyone already feeling that? You might even look like these characters at the moment if the full moon is getting to you. And don't pretend it doesn't, that you're just blaming the politics and everything else, and the cost of living crisis. That full moon gets to us. It really does. Oh, the best thing and the worst thing about moving to Portugal, that's what we're talking about. And you can call in on 00351 on the WhatsApp line. We're all ready to go on that. All I need to do is take the call and push the fader up. Hi, Carl, waiting for your call. That's why that person didn't turn up for our call last night. I'm waiting for them at 9 last night. They're thinking it's 9 this morning. Well, no, if you knew about my lifestyle, you would know I wouldn't be available to talk to you. I'm talking to everybody here at 9 in the morning. Check your email. Okay, Johnny has sent us a picture. A video. Okay, you've got a video of the blaze. That's taken from the Balagem de Idania Anova. My goodness. How far away are you, Johnny, for that? I will download that so that everybody can see that during the show as well. My goodness. Okay, where were we? Let's go back to the safety of the chat then whilst we await calls from anybody who might want to have a chat with me this morning. Best things and worst things about moving to Portugal. Tony Baldylocks, if you've adjusted, you might want to call in and have a chat with us. Be lovely to welcome you officially here on the show. And I'm seeing talk of Donald Trump and Alex Jones. Let's keep it balanced, everybody. Don't mind going all over the place, but let's keep it balanced this morning. Oh, baby Eve is up for sale. He's only joking. It's his weird Mancunian sense of humor. She's not really. I was up most of the night with her so Sandra can sleep. Bless you. Second night on the run. She's adjusting. It's the full moon, Lee. I imagine that's sort of pulling on all the energies of the household, the full moon and the new baby there. Bless you all over there in Lisbon. I think there's more jokes coming in, which is no bad thing. Dad joke warning. Thank you for that. T-Duck, so good to have you back. And that was Suze I just mentioned there. Hillary, if you're watching, Hillary, hello to you. Won't that be weird for you to know you've been talked about in that way? Okay, dad joke warning. We've already played it for you. It's a 5-minute walk from my house to the pub, but it's a 35-minute walk from the pub back to my house. The difference is staggering. Thank you very much. Worst thing about moving to Portugal would be homesick as family in Belfast. Yeah, of course. I think that's going to be in any survey you would care to mention. I think the worst thing about moving to Portugal or anywhere else as an immigrant, expat, foreigner, whatever you want to call yourself, stranger, not settler. I've got my knuckles wrapped for that, and I understand why. But when you move away, leaving family behind is one, if not the toughest thing to do, of course. Unless you don't like them, then it could be the easiest thing to do. But obviously, for people who get on very well and love their families, it's a tricky old business. And there are strategies at hand. I think it's good to talk about it, actually. Did you know that pirates get their hooks at second-hand stores? Oh my goodness, I haven't heard that for 300 years. Did you have to dust that off and give it a wash before you uttered that? Pirates getting their hooks at second-hand stores. No offense meant to any disabled person or amputee with that joke. I mean, that predates any kind of offense of that kind, doesn't it? That sort of joke, going back there to almost as old as the dinosaurs. That one. Has it travelled well into our current times? I wonder. Antonio, simply from Suze there, and he's on a roll. He's on a roll. He's back, and he's on a roll. My hotel tried to charge me $10 extra for air conditioning. That wasn't cool, man. Very good. Pete's in as well, and it's Chris's as well. Hey, from Chris B. Good morning to you. Hey, it's a cool greeting, isn't it? It's a cool greeting. He's not shouting at EI and Gildren team. That is a way of saying hi here in Portugal. Hey, and it's only 12:30. Thank goodness for that. We're not keeping you up too late. And a bon dia as well. You're spoiling us this morning with your A and your bon dia, Chris B. You're still a little bit mysterious, though, Chris B. Could you tell us a little bit more about yourself? And what's this? I did post a one. I know. Don't be sad. Don't be sore. The thing about a dad joke is you can tell us again tomorrow, can't you? That's all part of dad jokes. It's in the repetition. So give it a couple of days and try. I'll give it 5 minutes even. Oh no, you say that in different circumstances, don't you? Lol, short honeymoon period. With a little leave there. Will, I'm looking over where the Serra da Estrela smoke plume was last night. I don't see anything. It looked like a nuke had gone off, my goodness, yesterday. Let's see then if we can find. Oh, is that from you, Amelie in Korea? I'm guessing we haven't got that many people watching from Korea, but then again, who knows? You never know, do you? With this, and you're getting me to pronounce Gyeongju. Is that right? Gyeongju in Korea. Goodbye, Korea, it says. That's a beautiful. Oh my goodness, what a lovely picture. Part of the process of saying goodbye to Korea, ISIS. But yeah, it is, Amelie. I've got to show that picture. That's a beauty. And Johnny, okay, well, let's download your video then and see what's going on over there. Johnny, thank you for this. It might take a little while to download, but I will bring that to everybody's attention. Oh, you're raving as well at the same time as seeing the smoke plume in the distance. I wonder what that video is going to be like. You're all about to find out in just a moment. Bon dia from Brian Taylor as well. And Antonio reminding us that already about 10% of the Serra da Estrela Natural Park had already burned this year. Yikes. Oh, dear. Okay. Look at this. T-Duck is giving James a run for his money. The comments are rolling in so fast that I can barely think. Yes. So not just sighing when you get up and down into a chair, but also these comments This morning. Last night at midnight, says Antonio, a 50-year-old man driving an electric scooter collided with a car, sustaining serious injuries but not life-threatening. That was in a road in Braga last night. A bit of news there from Antonio. And yeah, the figures actually for road fatalities for the first week of August are pretty sobering. Be careful out there, folks. I think tourism, brings with it, doesn't it? People who don't know how to use the roads, more drink driving probably. So be careful out there, folks, whilst you're contending with tourists or being a tourist in Portugal. Smash that like button. I sense the thing might be in the room. I don't know. I've just got a feeling that the thing is here. Could I have a coffee, please? Thing. It coughs as well as it comes in.
This is the last time I'm going to do that.
Thank you. Oh, all right. Be like that. Thank you very much. Careful. Don't. Does anyone know a good lawyer? I might have to sue the thing for scolding me with hot coffee. Stop it, the thing. Okay. Lower. I mean, higher. No. Okay. You really broke my stride there. Thank you very much. Alan, good morning to you, Alan. Mwah, mwah, mwah to you as well. Good morning. Not to you, Alan. I'm not blowing Alan kisses, but actually, why not? Alan, mwah, mwah, mwah. Good morning to you, Alan. Well done for being here. Good morning from San Diego, California this morning as well. Are there organizations rescuing pets here, livestock and wild animals from the fire impacted areas? Yes, there are. Now, I got a little bit of criticism the other day from a correspondent. Now, I wonder if I can find this. Should I be bothering to search for the opposite of fan mail? Ban mail, maybe you could call it. But I mean, it's fair enough. Somebody did give me some constructive feedback that I hadn't been giving out the links. That I mentioned the farm that needed the pump. And that's I've forgotten it now, so I can't even give it out. But somebody else might be able to help me with that. There was the farm that needed Green Valley, was it not called in the Algarve or the Alentejo? I'm not helping here, am I? But they needed a pump, and this lady who wrote in said, you talked about it, then you didn't give the link. I think you'll find that there is a link to it in the YouTube notes, but that's a good reminder. I'm going to write that down. I'm writing down Green Valley, and I will respond to you, that lady who tunes in from time to time, enjoys the show otherwise, I hasten to say. And also did mention the same thing that you're mentioning, Suze. Are there organizations there rescuing pets, livestock, and wild animals from the fire impacted areas? Yes, I believe there are. And also Fee Worrell, who some of you might know, has also a Facebook group. I think it's mainly equine rescue and setting up the systems for doing so, which is important to have that set up in advance. You want to know what the system is, don't you, before you just willy-nilly start ringing people in the emergency. So there is work going on with that, Suze, and thank you for that concern. But I do have to say, and this was part of the problem with that wonderful establishment that we were trying to help, is that more animals are turning up, more animals are being displaced and are turning up, and people can't afford to look after them. They don't have homes to look after them in. This is a situation. So if you do know of anything that can answer Susie's question specifically, rather than me just waffling about it, please do let me know. Kotu, you're my Kotu guy there. Things to not like about Portugal. I know. How about fires? Yeah, that's about it for James there. Kind of like California, you're saying there, James. Alex Jones quote of the day: "You sent the opposing lawyers what?" Yeah, his face discovering that. Yes, but funny enough, two Alexes in court not getting quite the reception they were hoping for. Alex Jones and Alex Belfield, interestingly. Is there a third one somewhere in the world getting a bit of a I was going to use a rude word there. A bottom booting, I'm going to say instead. Chris B. Lol. Oh, still being mysterious. We've had an a bon dia and a lol from you, Chris B. Come on. Tell us more about yourself, Chris B. I heard a rumor Boris bought the property next to yours. Lol. I've not heard any coming from next door so far, or any drunkenness and fornication, which you might associate with the man. No, those rumors I cannot confirm at the moment. But at the same time, I can't deny them, Amelie. And let's bring your beautiful picture onto the screen right now. Thank you for sending this in. And we'll show the video, of course, as well from Johnny in a little while. It really is like the show slide this morning, isn't it? You know, the tragedy and the comedy, the tragedy of the fires, and us doing our best to have a little bit of a giggle this morning with each other. And rumours of Boris Johnson. Are you talking about Boris Johnson, or are you talking about a different Boris there, possibly, Amelie? But your wonderful picture, here it is. And that will be, let me go back to it, because I can't, forgive me for not remembering or recognizing that particular place in Korea there. But that is, you're saying goodbye to it, I believe. Of course you are, because you're moving to Portugal. But goodbye, Korea, a river walk. That is the river walk. Oh, well, that means I must show you my boardwalk pictures as well, and a few pickies I want to share with you this morning. But the river walk in Gyeongju there. Is that okay, that pronunciation? But isn't that beautiful? Korea, you look lovely, don't you? But you can move from Korea, Korea, to Korea in the Aveiro district if you want to. So you can still tell people you live in Korea. And then you have all the explaining to do, which is what we did when we lived in Northern Korea, not North Korea, of course. Okay, let me bring my pictures onto the screen and your video to come, Johnny. Thank you very much for that. Oh, no, I've still got to download all of mine from WhatsApp. And just so you know, WhatsApp 913-590-303, folks, if you want to. Oh, that helps. Download all. That'll be very handy. No, hold on a minute. It's not. Oh, yeah, download all. Yeah, 913-590-303. And 00351, the country code. If you want to call in and talk to me about the best thing and the worst thing about moving to Portugal. If you're one of the regulars and you're thinking, oh, they won't want to hear my voice again or hear too much about me. Not true. I have to tell you, you can be a regular and call in. Give me an update about what's going on for you, as well as telling me about what the best thing and the worst thing about moving to Portugal was for you on this Move to Portugal Thursday on the Expats Portugal show. My boardwalk picture then. There's Amelie's. Did you call that a boardwalk picture? Or river walk, I think you may have called that. Here's the new boardwalk at Salir de Porto. Well, that's probably the cusp, or where the borders meet there. Where you've got Salir de Porto. You can see San Martino de Porto, obviously, in the distance, and the neck, the famous opening into the Atlantic, which makes the bay lovely and calm. We're swimming in there again last night. It was fantastic last night. My kids loving it, swimming in the water there of the Atlantic in the safety of the San Martino de Porto Bay. And this boardwalk that's gone up, I actually live next door to the president. I must say to him how great this is. So not the Prime Minister of the UK, but the President of San Martino de Porto is my neighbour. And I've got to commend him and his colleagues for overseeing the creation or the renovation of the boardwalk at Salir de Porto. Not the best picture. There are sunnier days here. But I tell you what, after a hot day at the beach, it's really nice when it looks like that and feels like that. And that's just a tiny part of a very extensive and beautiful boardwalk. I'll make a little video about that, actually, to give you a fuller sense of all of that. Absolutely lovely. Thank you very much, San Martino de Porto, for that. Last night, then, the circus is still in town. Circo Claudio Espectaculo hoje 22 horas. And they go through the town in their Hummer, saying that, and we loved it. Me and the kids went. There were no animals. Before anyone goes, yeah, don't like circus. Oh, James Holly is ringing in now. We interrupt this broadcast to accept a call from Mr. James Holly. You might know him as 27-word descriptions. Oh, you might have to turn down your background. Holly. You might know him as 27. Oh my goodness, what's going on? What? I'm asking people to call in, but I'll tell you, hold on a minute, James, hold it right there. I just need to turn Jazz FM off in the background and anything else that might be playing at the moment. I have no idea. And some say I still have no idea. But there you are. I can hear you breathing. Are you there, James?
I heard you, please, Carl. And as I often say, ask and I deliver. So here I am. I have no idea what I'm going to say. But I just wanted to join you here.
Well, that's not unusual, to be fair, is it? And I don't mean that in a bad way. You know, I think you live in the moment, and you are very happy to just open your mouth and see what comes out, which is often very entertaining. Am I right? That's not unfair, is it, to say that?
Not at all.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And I get all kinds of results from that.
You do. I recommend it. I do. I mean, you may have noticed I'm much the same. That's how I recognize it in you. So obviously the fires, the worst thing about moving to Portugal, the fires, and it kind of like California, you're used to it to a certain extent. And you might agree with Ubi. It's not as bad, but it's still terrible.
Yes, and actually that was one of the many reasons I ultimately wanted to leave California, specifically in the United States in general, as I was tired of my state being on fire 12 months a year.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, good, I can go to Portugal.
Yes. Yeah. And now look. Yes. Yeah. 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 Well, it's a terrible situation. Is it impacting you at all where you are, Ericeira? Are you aware of any?
Not at all. Nothing close. I think that's one of the advantages. The closer we get to the coast, the less likely we're going to be subjected to threatening fires.
Yeah, much the same here.
You know, I've only seen, one or two smoke plumes, probably nearly 100 kilometers away. Something along that line.
Yes.
So very blessed that way, and also very blessed by the cooling effect of the ocean. So even in the hottest days, it rarely got above, I don't know, 84. I mean, not 84. I'm thinking, I'm getting my centigrade and Fahrenheit mixed up still. So, 28, 80, yeah, 30 or so. Yes. 32.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
and
so I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it's not affecting you directly. But yeah, what a horrible situation in Central. Sorry, are you going to add some more to that?
I was just going to say, as you continue scrolling through the comments, you'll see several of the things that I'm really loving about being here. But I don't need to say those here because it would be redundant.
Okay, but have you become? Do you recognize the thing Sarah was saying about becoming a side project for people? Have you been taken under, or I'll put it a different way? How many Portuguese wings have you been taken under?
I think two, basically, and primarily one, and that's the couple that I live with or from whom I'm renting. I'm never quite sure how to refer to them because they are friends, but they're also my landlords. Yeah. And I live in a studio of my, independently from them, but the only thing between me and them is the door that used to come into the garage. It's been converted to a studio. Yes. So it's pretty close living, but it's independent living. And Louisa has been great about including me and everything. I've had family meals with them. When she goes to Lisboa, she says, "You want to go with me?" She's shown me around the metro system in Lisboa and how to get my bus pass. So just a whole lot of really amazing, helpful things. Fabulous. So she really is the mother hen type and has done a great job of helping me along the way. So lovely. I would say, yes, she's primary, and Sidonio, her husband, is also very accommodating and friendly, and he's a very funny guy. I love jibing with him a bit.
So that's an interesting name, not one I've heard before. There are names we're familiar with, of course, in Portugal. Sidonio, did you call him?
Yes, I believe, if I understand it correctly, it's of Indian descent. Okay, so it is a unique name to Portugal.
Yeah. Okay, Sidonio and Louisa, thank you so much for extending a wing over our dear friend James here, and being here, and for having him as a side project. Feel free though, James. Best things and worst things. I think we're pretty light on the worst things of having talked to you before. And another best thing we might not have heard before, maybe to do with food, drinks, sagresh, these sorts of things. What other lifestyle things can you whet other people's appetites about?
Well, the one that I haven't mentioned in the comments today is just the relaxed nature, the energy of being able to just kind of lean back and relax and laugh at life when it's not giving you everything you want, and really appreciating it when it does. It is much more suited to my personality. I mentioned this last Monday, that part of claiming who I am as a person and locating Portugal is like, oh yeah, that feels like a good match for who I am. Yeah. Where lifestyle in California and the US was much different than that. So there's I don't have the experience of swimming upstream.
Yes,
You know,
that's really nice.
I'm
way of
going
putting it.
with the flow, quite
Yeah,
literally.
yeah.
So
And how do you describe
that
that characteristic of Portuguese people? Would you call it their sense of humor or sense of proportion? What would you call it?
I think it is, and I think it may come. I don't know. I'm just guessing here, but it may come from the fact that historically and even presently, they're very hardworking people
Yeah,
as a whole. You know, they devote their lives to living life and whatever it takes to be able to do that, which is often a lot of hard work. So when they have the opportunity to be with family and to be with friends, it's like, let go of the work thing, man. I'm here.
yes,
I'm present to my family, to the love, to the generosity, to the humor. And there is just a general sense of relaxed enjoyment of the company of the people around them.
yeah,
And that's right up my alley as well.
yes.
And I make mention in the comments that laughter, I don't think I've ever gone anywhere in the 10 months I've been here where there haven't been, you know, at least two and maybe a group of Portuguese people laughing together. I have no idea what they're
Yes.
laughing about, but it's friendly. They're patting each other on the backs and they're laughing.
It can be
So,
us. It can be us sometimes, but we'd never know, would we?
yes, maybe it's just because as I walk by,
Do you know,
they all start
do you know
laughing.
what? Yes, you seem to be the common theme here. Wherever you
Other people be saying, "What? That never happens to me. What are you
yeah.
talking about?"
Yeah, I find this country really serious. But you're the common thread there. And on the other side of this, I mentioned this I think on Monday, James. This is Landgeist. I guess this is some kind of international comparison organization.
Oh yes, yes.
And
The
this,
anger thing.
yeah, isn't that funny? Well, not really, actually. But the Spanish are a lot more angry than the Portuguese, it would appear.
Yes.
And the Turkish are really angry.
Man, they
They're
are one angry group of folks. They're
angry
nearly
half
half
the
of
time, or half the people. I don't know which it is, but it's a percentage of people that experienced anger during a lot of the day on the day previous to the survey. And I was saying, I think it's a bit like having your blood pressure taken, right? If you ring someone up
Yes.
and say, this is a survey about anger, how angry were you yesterday? I was just about to eat dinner. I'm really angry now. But let me cast my mind back to yesterday.
Yes, but I'm calling about yesterday.
Yes, that's right. Calm down, sir. Don't tell me to calm down. This is anyway. Yes, and we're doing pretty well, aren't we, among our Portuguese folks here? Only
Agreed.
8% of people experience
Yes.
anger during a lot of the day. What a weird survey. But surveys sometimes can be weird, can't they? But it's a reassuring little infographic or whatever you would call that. Oh, mate, are you suffering with the full moon? Do you find yourself, and you're a sensitive fella, we know that. We hear from you with your thoughts from the Redwoods, in case you recognize that voice, everybody, and you're not recognizing his actual name, James Holly, because of all the other names he uses. He joins us on a Monday morning, 8:45, with thoughts from the Redwoods, the reflections of an American in Portugal. Are you sensitive to the full moon, which is upon us?
If I am, I'm not aware of it. You know, all I know is the last 2 nights I've slept really well, really solidly, but that may have to do as much with sleep deprivation as it does with the moon.
And Sagres.
Because I was up very late on Monday night with Hank and Connie, and then I spent hours and hours on public transportation. And well, I don't know if you're familiar with Alfama, but that's where we stayed Monday night.
Oh, I love it.
There with that group minus Joao on the first day.
Okay.
Well, I guess Tony arrived the next day. That's a whole story in itself. I think I'm going to go into that on Monday because it's all about expectation and letting go.
Okay.
Yes, but I walked basically from the metro nearly to the top of Alfama twice in one day.
Good man.
And by the time I got home that day, after being on the metro several times throughout the day, because we took the metro to go to the embassy. From the embassy, we met Nunu at the zoo. I'll go into the whole story on Monday if 15 minutes is enough time.
You met Nunu at the zoo. Okay, we'll get you on a bit earlier on Monday. Okay, so did they let him out? Did they let him out of the zoo?
I was exhausted. I was exhausted from the exercise, and then exhausted because by the time I got to bed, it was 12:30, which is about 2 hours later than my normal time. So I was sleep deprived from the night before, exhausted from the workout of all day Wednesday.
Yeah.
And by the time I got home, it's like I just want to just fall down on the floor and sleep. So,
Yes.
so that may have as much to do with feeling sleepier as the full moon has to do with it. I don't know.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I'm going to take that as a no. Let's before you go, Sidonio. There we go. Sidonio is a Portuguese name, but not a common one. It's a perfectly normal name in Portugal, although not a frequently used one. We even had a president between 1917. Oh, remember it well. 1917 and 1918 called Sidonio. There you go.
Okay.
And your Cali librarian had to wake up at 4 a.m. to catch this show live. Yes, well done, Cali librarian. We got Catnipper and Cali librarian now. And as a Californian says, Cali librarian, I am really sorry to see the fires there. Well, you'll understand what it's like. Interesting. And I think Amelie surprised to see that only 11% of Russians were angry on the previous day. I don't know.
Yeah, and you tweaked it just a tiny bit today because you got to my punchline before you read the meat of the dad joke, as you do sometimes.
Yes.
My recommendation is if you see something from me, just look 1 or 2 comments ahead and see if I've already said something about that.
Thank you very much indeed. All right, James, thank you for calling in. Really appreciate it. Look, folks, how easy.
My pleasure.
James, can you tell people how easy this is? If anybody else wants to turn this into a phone in today, it's not that difficult, is it?
No, not really. And I only did it when you said, hey, even if people know you're here, go ahead and do it. And I heard you ask 3 or 4 times and nobody was doing it. So I just couldn't leave you stranded. I had to.
Yeah, I am the morning DJ on W. People, you have to really encourage people to phone in. It's
pretty easy.
Yeah. They're your friend lords, James. They're your friend lords. Stephen coming up with as he does with
there you go. I like that friend lords.
Friend lord. Okay,
that's a good one. Yeah,
and let us know.
It is easy. Just get on if you're already on the WhatsApp. Just all you got to do is hit that little phone icon and off you go.
That's right. That's right. And then open your mouth.
Carl's not going to yell at you and say, "Why did you call me?"
That's right. That's right.
I'm doing a show. Leave me alone.
Maybe I will try that. No, I won't. I won't do that. I won't do that. James, thank you so much for calling in. Really appreciate it. And take a picture when you call your friend lords for the first time. I'd like to see the look on their faces. So if you do that for us, that'd be great. All right, mate. Have a great day.
So I'll have the camera up. I'll look at them and say, I'm calling you friend lords now. Click.
Yes, that's it. Perfect. Can't wait. Same number.
Okay.
All right, mate. Take care. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao.
You too.
There you go.
Ciao, ciao.
That's how easy it is, folks. James Holly just called in. And unless I have got you in my WhatsApp phone book as boring old bugger or something, I will put the same thing up on the screen, just like that. No, I don't have anyone on my phone book by the name of that. I won't say it again. Bob. I just use the abbreviation Bob. Friend lords then. And that video, we'll come back to many of your many comments, as many as I possibly can cover this morning. My goodness, there are loads. Thank you very much. This has sparked quite a lot of conversation and input this morning. We have a webinar tonight, talking of conversation. This evening, we have the cost of living supermarket shopping special. One of the ones that Astrid is absolutely brilliant at in looking at ingredients in the supermarket and even setting up recipes or talking through recipes and what it might cost to feed a family or a couple or whatever. Join us for that this evening. Let me put the link to that into the comments for you in case you want to join us this evening on the webinar. So there you go. Expats Portugal events page where you'll see all those lovely contributions from Andy as well, who I think even while he was over in the UK was still posting up wonderful events, mainly from the Bairrada region. Jacqueline Branco's in as well. And apparently, morning, Jacqueline, how are you? Carl, you've used the Trump word many times today, even in the same sentence while referring to Hank. Yeah, good job he's asleep, right? Standing. Well done, sir. Cindy B also. Bon dia, Algria Gumpers. Okay, let's bring up Johnny's video before I mislay or overlook it. Important. And there was a bit of I don't know, she had a soundtrack to it as well, which might get me a little bit of a ban or a little bit of a YouTube strike. Well, let's see where that. Oh, it's a video clip, not an image. Come on, Carl, get a grip on yourself here. That video yesterday of the V8 hotel, that was some fun yesterday, wasn't it? And here it is. Here's the WhatsApp video. I hope people sent me some pretty spicy videos, I gotta say. I hope this isn't one of them. This is Johnny's plume of smoke, I think, looking from, where were you, Johnny? The fire seen from the Barragem e Danya Nova, presumably last night. Here it is. Now, I did see some flames in the distance, but mainly I saw a silhouette of a tree, and heard some rave music there, Johnny. What were you doing last night? You don't have to answer that, but I think a few of us are intrigued now. Here's my night shot last night. That's not a lamppost. That's the moon last night, the full moon that I'm talking about. Oh, it affects me, in case you hadn't noticed. And yeah, I think when James called in, I was showing you this Circo Claudio Spettacolo. And that was the moon above the circus last night as well. Look at that. It could have been the setting sun, but it can't have been the setting sun when you think about it, because it's that, my friends, is in the east there. And that is the moon last night over the circus, over Circo Claudio. No animals involved, just I think 6 people involved in that circus. I've got a video of them going down the street here in San Martino de Porto, drumming up business, literally drumming up business. They are brilliant, and I think there are like 6 of them, all doing the jobs of selling the ticket, driving the truck, selling you the popcorn, showing you to your seat, and then hanging from a high wire a little bit later on in the show. They're amazing circus people. I take my hat off to you. You work so hard and you do something so real. It's amazing. While we're here, let me show you a globe artichoke as well that Mrs. Emma's grown in the back garden. Isn't that beautiful? And the reason I show you that, well, not just to showcase her wonderful skills, both a horticultural and some good laundry going on the line now. I just noticed that's spoiling me shot, but thank you for doing the laundry on that occasion. The above view of the globe artichoke, I think that is, isn't it? Or is it a different plant? I think that is our globe. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the colors in there, everybody. I will share more pictures from the homestead, from the back garden in due course. We've got some lovely food being harvested at the moment. Well done, Mrs. M. Thank you for that. Okay, back to your comments and finding out what Johnny was up to last night, among other things. That was a punchline to my dad joke. Yes, hate it when that happens. Sorry, James. Sorry again. Doctor Who. Knock, knock. Who's there? Carl, you read jokes like my sister. Quite drool. I don't drool while I'm telling jokes. It's quite unique in its own way. Oh, droll. Okay. I'll take droll over drool anytime. More of a grunt when getting in and out of chairs. So maybe the theme this morning should have been worst thing about moving in and out of a chair and best thing about moving in and out of a chair. The relief that comes and then having to get out of it again, respectively, or even get into it in the first place. Yes, 2 wings blowing their wind around all the time. Ha, ha, ha. That's you, that is. Joao and Antonio. Joao, you have been noticed. Thank you for your message. Chimpanzee maggots won't move to Portugal. Now, this, Ubi, if you don't mind me saying, is part of the problem. They can't even find it on a map. I'm pretty certain that not everyone who may have voted for Donald Trump is this character that you're speaking of there. And that is part of your problem, Ubi, I suspect. I suggest to you. Somebody else is calling now, changing the subject. Thank God. Okay. Who is this calling the Good Morning Portugal Expats Portugal show this morning? Is that Amelie in Korea? Come on, you can talk to me. I won't shout at you like James said. Are you there, Amelie? Or indeed, is that you, Amelie? Hello? Hello. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. How interesting and great is this? We know you.
Wait, I have to find where the speaker is on this phone.
It will help. It could help. It could help because I think you're hearing me on a little bit of a delay. So if you speak to me on your phone, that would work. And I can't put you up on the screen like I did with James because it would give your phone number away, which I don't think would be a very good thing to do right now. You get fan mail that way. So Amelie, what time is it in Korea right now?
It's 5:40 in the afternoon.
Oh, bless you. So not too bad then. Go on.
I decided to call because when I move to Portugal, I probably will not be attending the show because it will be too early in the morning for me.
Really? Okay, so we'll have to think about doing a later show, or you watch on the replay then. Okay, that's going to be an interesting change. So not an early riser, a night owl, and not an early riser. Tell us about Korea. What's it like living in Korea?
Very modern. You know, it's a fully developed, very modern country.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that. Yeah.
Okay.
The name of the city is Gyeongju.
Gyeongju, I knew that.
So it's like you have to slide from the G to the Y.
Beyond you. We all slide to the Y at times in our life, don't we? Y, oh, Y, oh, Y.
There you go. Yeah.
Beyond you. Very
so
good.
The other reason why I decided to call this morning is because it is why you're moving to Portugal.
Yep. Tell me.
And before COVID, I did couch surfing.
Oh, right. Okay.
Surfing. And I had a woman come and stay with me for a weekend. And she is from Portugal. And when I told her I was thinking about moving to Portugal, she said, well, you must come and stay with me.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah. And I mean, I knew this woman for a weekend. Now we have many things in common. She's a teacher. I'm a teacher. She runs an NGO. I used to run an NGO. We're around the same age, but still, it's a pretty cool
wonderful
thing. And
yes,
it
so
just
it
kind of made me think that maybe Portugal's right. So
hold on a minute then. So you did come and stay and you liked it, or you haven't even been yet?
No, I've never been.
You've never been?
I've never been to Portugal.
Okay. All it took was an invitation to sleep on someone's sofa, and you said, okay, that's it. Yeah, that's good enough for me. I'll move.
Well, Americans have a very difficult time trying to find an apartment in Portugal.
Yes. Okay. All right. So you all right. The sofa offer is good enough. I'm going.
She's got an extra bedroom. I'm taking the extra bedroom.
Oh, how wonderful. Okay. And are you okay telling us which part of Portugal you're moving to? Which bit you're hoping to fall in love with?
So yes, I'm hoping it will be okay. It's not my forever home, but it's east of Sintra, north of Lisbon, in sort of a suburb called Aguilavcasem.
Okay. Casem, yeah. Casem. Yeah. Okay.
Aguilava.
Yeah. I think Antonio and Joao will know this and will probably give us a translation into the chat. No offense. so we can locate it exactly.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a great place, in terms of where would you move in Portugal.
Yeah.
But it's going to be wonderful to land there and have someone help me out and get, just a landing pad. So yeah.
What a lovely plan, and what an amazing heroic adventurer you are with your couch surfing ways, moving from Korea to Portugal. I think it's fantastic. Keep sending in the pics. Keep us informed of your journey. How can we help?
I'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, it was lovely to hear your announcement on Monday that we were able to share the news that the D7 is in order. So anything else we can help with, you just let us know, won't you, in the chat, or give me another call.
I will. Thanks. Bye for now.
Amelie, that's so fantastic, calling us from Korea this morning. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Have a great evening.
Bye.
Ciao. There she goes. How about that? Fantastic. I'm so glad I asked people to call in this morning. Amelie on the line from Korea there, 913-590-303. If you want to try that for yourself, it's that easy to do that. We have a God Squad tip of the day. Oh, no, but we can't play it. Can't share it with you until I've played the appropriate music for that. Thank you, Amelie. Really appreciate that. And a few more of your comments before we go there as well. Thanks, Coach Turner. And a mate of mine posted up some pickies. He was played in one of the bands on the closing ceremony. So fantastic, Andy. Nice one. Lovely to see you and your wonderful pickies of the closing ceremony of the Commonwealth Games. Marcus Lawrence is in this morning as well. Bob's in. Bob Wenger, how are you, Bob? Great to have you here. Pete is saying it's like beer aid, but great as it means you cannot ever get drunk due to the extreme gas. I would imagine if you tried, it would look like Charlie Bucket and his granddad. Which one are you talking about? Which beer is being spoken about that? Trancoso only has one S sound. Trancoso, not Transcoso. Trancoso has defences, a tower from the 10th century, and became a Portuguese municipality about 900 years ago. We'll have a look at that if we've got time. But it's 9:45. We better crack on. Very warm degrees of 17. Sorry, I didn't make sense of that sentence, did I? I'll have another go, Deagle. A very warm 17 degrees overnight in Belfast. Now it's going to be a struggle to sleep all day Expected 25 to 26, just in from nights by the sound of it. Again, another awkward characterization. It can't be true of all of them, Ubi. I think you're projecting a little bit of some of your frustration here in quite a caricatured way, which is not doing the American political picture as we understand it in the rest of the world many favors. Same tantrums and lies they spew from their mother's basement. All lies. My goodness, Ubi. I think you're quite upset this morning, what with me mentioning Trump and the fires going on. Take a chill pill, my friend. Take it easy. Breathe. More than happy to share the 18 months trying to get to Portugal. Okay, we'll have a special. Gary Orgles, the Orgle special. We can ogle at Orgle and check in with the journey that you've been making over these last 18 months. Soon be sharing another beer with you, Mr. Munson. Can't wait. Bring it on. Get yourself settled first, because we haven't got much space to park your HGV with all your stuff on it. So get yourself settled in Central and then pop over here and have a beer. That sounds like a great idea. The only countries that would tolerate their hate are Russia and Hungary. Again, some very broad brush characterizations. I think we need a little bit more nuance in our politics, Ubi, if there's going to be any hope for mankind. I think these summary judgments are a little unfortunate and unhelpful, if you don't mind me saying so. Bon dia from Salgueiro de Lomba, from Marcus. Best thing is the Portuguese. Worst thing is the lack of proper bagels. Oh, I feel your pain. Not the same, is it? Get some dehydrated old thing from the occasional Trader Joe special Aldi. It was Suze. Was it you that sent us that fantastic bagel bakery picture where they were done in I think a wood-fired oven? That was fantastic. Enough, not needed. Bob, putting the hand up. Talk to the hand of Bob there. Come on, Ubi. Let it go, mate. Let it go. My 10,000 kilometer driving journey is over after almost 4 months, says Suze. Not going anywhere unless it's to Portugal. Yeah, I'm hearing a breathing out and a sigh of relief coming from you there, Suze. My most loved quality about being in Portugal is its gentle, welcoming, loving embrace. The quality of willing help from the people of this place. And all the laughter. Thank you very much. Fizinas, who I mentioned before, if you've got details of the animal rescue, I think specifically with you, equine rescue, Fiona, do let us know. Chris is spilling the beans. I'm planning to move to Portugal this year, D7, currently in Los Angeles. Well, Chris, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for telling us a little bit more about yourself. I am wearing weak reading glasses. Can barely read the comments, so flipping just to watch. Yeah, don't worry about it. I've got the comments covered. I'll read them out for you, Suze. I'm like a pair of prescription glasses, honestly. Where's Carl? You're wearing him. Trying to get an appointment with A, but it seems they're booked up. Okay, I'm sure you are in the queue. I'm sure you're in the queue. There, Chris B. Hang on in there, mate. And if you are having problems technologically connecting, let us know and we'll figure that out for you, with you. Number 8. I am not a number. I'm a free man. Who is number 8? Okay, God Squad tip of the day. Then let's go into this, shall we? See what the Coach Turner has for us today. Is it going to be arduous? Is it going to be difficult? Challenging? Is it going to be a physical ordeal? We'll find out after this. God Squad tip of the day. I use sprint training to keep in shape 2 or 3 times a week. Sprinting, Coach Turner. Stay with us, everybody. It involves 6 to 8 intense reps of 5 to 15 seconds. A bit fartlecky as well, by the sound of it. Give it 5 minutes on the track after Coach Turner. So a maximum of 2 minutes effort. What can you do? Yeah, so there you go. I mean, basically what you're saying there, Coach Turner, right, is that you're only spending 2 minutes of your hard-earned energy in intense activity. So there you go. A bit of fartlek for yourselves there. If you're walking to the shops, a little bit of a fast run, a break into a jog, get the heart rate changed, and obviously check with your physician. And if it hurts, stop. But that's a good point. Well made there. A little bit of intensity can really help, especially when it's mixed up like that in that intermittent training kind of way. Cheers, Coach Turner. Tony, you here lurking, or is it still the jet lag lingering there for you? And are you sleeping soundly? Yeah, maybe just like Hank, Tony is. I'm in Portugal, slumbering in Portugal. That sort of thing. Well, on second thoughts, I guess if you're sleeping, you're not seeing this unless in your dreams. That would be weird, wouldn't it? If he dreams this dream, maybe that's how it does work in these parallel universes of ours that are intertwined briefly for the 90 minutes of each day, into the last 10 minutes of which. Bad thing about Portugal is the terrible customer service. Just chucking that in there as we close the show. Thank you very much for that, Lee McGrady. Good morning, everyone, from Rochelle in Van VA. Where are you? I thought you were Californian and you're in VA, so should that not be CA? Do explain for me, if you will, Cali, a librarian, and forgive my grasp of American acronyms there. I also love the smiles I often get when attempting not to butcher the language while talking to a Portuguese. Yes, the sensitivity that I'm sure that you employ whilst trying to converse, and how forgiving they are when I do butcher it. Yes, yes, guilty here as well of that. Emergency disaster evacuation for horses, Central Portugal. So there you go. So check that out if you need to feel the need to protect and prepare with your horses if you have them, but maybe it's a blueprint for other animals as well, other pets. Thank you, Fiona, for that. There's one organization doing that called the IRA Intervenção e Resgate Animal, but their actions can sometimes be considered illegal. My goodness. Okay, so IRA here in Portugal. Just dropped off my car, says the coach for an MOT. You'd have loved the customer service there. Nah, mate, can't tell you when it'll be ready. Yep. We've all experienced that. What do you say when somebody says that? Well, give me my car back, maybe. Watch out for the extremely slow-moving vehicles in Wildfire. Snails have been spotted overtaking and are being treated for shock. Okay. Yeah, I've heard you like to drive a little bit in a kind of rapid way, Pete, there in your Tesla. So yes, by your standards, I think the Wildfire scene would seem a little slow. Yeah, also, Ira, that's what Fiona's saying as well. Intervenção Resgate Animal are on the ground in the affected area, helping remove all kinds of animals at risk of the fire, taking it into their own hands. No, download all will blow up your house. What's that you're talking about there? I'm looking forward to today's Zoom chat on living expenses in Portugal. Oh, give me a shout. Give me a private message, Kelly Librarian, so I can see who you are this evening. And yeah, let me just bring that onto the screen for everybody to see. The webinar tonight, supermarket shopping, always very popular, I have to say. And there will be, I'm sure, a very good presentation from Astrid this evening on supermarket shopping, the cost of living in Portugal. How far will your budget go in Portugal there? What a lovely spread of vegetables there. You can get all of those in Portugal, I believe. Parsnips are the thing that people struggle to find. That's not to say it's impossible to grow. Maybe just not a sort of cultural norm thing here. Thank you very much, Cali Librarian, for being here this morning. It's late here, says Chris B. I'm heading to bed, having a great time. Keep having a great time. Ciao. See you later, Chris B. Thank you for being here. And good morning, everyone. Someone going, someone coming. Look, it's like Piccadilly Circus here. Good morning, everyone, says Joao F. this morning. Perfectly normal name then, Sidonio. That's good to know. Thank you very much for that, Sidonio. You may come across that whilst living in Portugal. They can't feel anger if they don't know what's really happening. Oh, is that about Russians? Again, we just don't know, do we? What's going on ourselves over there in so many ways. In Trancoso, Castello being the main attraction for me, but all the collateral towns, culture, and history adds layers of wonder. Now, I'm not going to get around to telling you about Trancoso, but I can give you a link to find out more at the wonderful Centre of Portugal website, a tourism initiative from the government. So there it goes into the chat for you now. And for me, let's go to a few more of these then. For me, one of the best things in Portugal is enchanted castles every other exit. Yeah, Jerry loves those as well. The DG, Jerry, loves the castles. Watch out for his forthcoming book, The Illustrated Guide to the Castles of Portugal. Not! The list goes on. Thanks, Ubi, for that. Welcome to the show, Cali Librarian. It seems you are already making sacrifices in order to get close to Portugal. Yes, indeed. Yes, staying up really late to be with us. Try calling him at 2 a.m. on a Friday, Saturday. He will shout at you then. Yeah. Oh, my goodness, this is going back. We've got to scroll through a lot of chat, I think, this morning. I think we have to write a book on what to know about Portugal and how to understand it in order to help our expat friends. How about that? Yes, thank you, Joao F. Antonio. That would be amazing if you did that. A beginner's guide written by the two Portuguese wings of that loving Portuguese bird that we spoke about earlier. Great idea. Great idea. Totally worth it. I moved to a VA to get closer as well. working on my freelance visa. Well done. Keep it up, Cali Librarian. You know where we are if you need some help from Expats Portugal in this wonderful community. Don't have enough lifetime to do it. Too many volumes to write. Okay, I think Antonio perhaps not so keen on that idea. Pips lurking whilst working. Hashtag nice one, Pips. Thank you for that. Healthcare costs, great things about Portugal, moving to Portugal, and higher education costs make Portugal a no-brainer for me. Higher education. Oh, the cost of higher education rather than the cost of education are higher. Got it. Thank you very much. Biggest downside might be the job market, but says Ubi, that is highly debatable. Yes, indeed. Thanks, Ubi, for that. I've never been much into the circus because, you know, clowns. Yes, I've got a dad joke for you. What do clowns taste like? They taste funny. And yes, of course, you've heard it before. It's a dad joke. Hank's sister from a different mister. What? And in my humble opinion, offset by affordable overall cost of living in Portugal. Yes, are we talking about the downsides? Yes, are far outweighed by the upsides there. That's what I'm going to go with anyway. Relax. I was only thinking about a short version of only 1,500 pages. You could do it, couldn't you? And it could be published in all those government offices. Like when you go into Finanzas, all that decree law. It could also be João and Antonio F's guide to making a great life in Portugal. That's why many Portuguese with a university degree emigrate, so they get better paid jobs. Yes, indeed. I imagine surfing with a couch might be a bit cumbersome. And there we go. We knew he'd do it, didn't we? Agualva Casain there. Thank you very much for that, Antonio F. Much appreciated. My video, my son filmed, shows an explosion. It was, yes, we saw the explosion. I saw some flames there. Yeah, pretty scary stuff. And with the trance music as well, after my recent experience, terrifying. Agualva Casain is a small town in the Sintra municipality. It's basically a suburb. Warn me when you arrive. Look at that. I think coffee on Antonio, possibly. You're going to be a side project. Wow. The pound rose almost 2% against the euro, not 120, and still rising. Or is it at 120 and still rising this morning? Yeah, now 120. Coming in. Yes, do check out Spartan FX. And Sarah has been, of course, on the show this week and telling us about well, it's a good time to buy. It's your final choice, not financial advice, but the pound and the dollar doing well against the euro. Good time for dollar and pound owners. Get your free Spartan FX account at spartanfx.co.uk. Tell them who sent you. Joao, you can call me mate. Omninomen. Omninomen is Latin for all names. Okay, all right. There you go. Very inclusive, Ubi, unlike some of your earlier comments. Good night. We'll watch the rest on replay. Good night to you, Suze. Careful. The clown lobby may be offended by that comparison of yours there. Oh, come on. My sincere apologies to the circus clowns. Yes, okay, it's official. That apology has been issued. We don't need to feel any further heat on the subject. 120 on Monday as well, when I did a little transfer, says Pete. Make the most of it. Trust will be insane. You'll be trussed up in the UK, and that's not a pretty picture, I can assure you. Antonio F., my Portuguese-American friend, says Ubi, successful IT was born when Salazar was still polluting the earth, and he is really down on PT. Not sure what you mean there, Ubi. Mostly, from the job market perspective, he doesn't want kids to go to university in Portugal, but they spend a month here every year and has several rentals in the Portuguese family. Still not up to speed with you there, Ubi, but we've always got tomorrow, haven't we? See you tomorrow, of course, on Feel Good Friday with Philomena. Oh, wow. It's going to be fun tomorrow with Philomena. She's bringing Mac with her as well. I moved to VA it was Virginia, right, in February, but for work, but also as a springboard to make the move to Portugal. I may live in Virginia now, but I'll always be a Cali librarian. A Calibrarian, possibly. Could we call it that? And yeah, VA is Virginia. Thanks, everybody, for that, and forgive me for not knowing. Will do. I'll contact you out of... Yes, absolutely. You do know where we are. Gotta go, says Amelie. We all do. It's 10 o'clock, everybody. Late arrival for me, says Victoria. Family arriving from Paris today. Ciao, ciao, from sunny Portimao. Nice one, Victoria. Thank you very much. And that's a good note, isn't it? With incoming from Paris today. How wonderful. What's this? If you, I've got to read this one. If you're planning to run and hide when Amelie warns you, let me know. Or inform might be better choices. Yeah, warn me. I think warm me. WARM. We'll go with that as a final note of a warm welcome, I think, from Antonio or Joao, whoever it was who said that. Probably both, in fact, to be fair. Those two wings, we can feel your warm wind and warm waft, both you, Antonio and Joao. And I mean that in a good way. I really do. Thank you so much to both of you. And to everybody, come on, hit that like button. Let's see what happens when the like button gets fondled, as Cindy B is asking you to do. That's fantastic. Thank you, Cindy B. See you at the webinar tonight. Supermarket shopping, cost of living in Portugal. How far will your budget go? Thanks to Amelie and to James for calling in. Let's do that again sometime. You saw how easy it was. And thank you, everybody, for sharing with me the best and worst things about Portugal. Looking forward to your company in the morning, or see you at the webinar tonight. Ciao, ciao. Have a great day. Bye for now. Adios.